never forget the day that I was diagnosed with cancer, because the way that it happened, I knew it was from God, but I was so angry at him. I was just honestly so angry at him. I had been working as a musician for many years. I was in a girl group, I was touring around the world, then I was a solo singer, and I was hustling. I was touring and working with different labels. I had gotten signed to Warner Brothers and finally proven myself to them. I was networking constantly, writing songs, working with different producers, and finally the day had come. The day had come where Warner Brothers was like, okay, we've got the song. I feel like you're really ready now. Let's release it. This is the day, it's happening. And that same day I got that call off my manager. I also got a phone call saying, you have cancer and you need to start chemo straight away, because that tumor is literally blocking your airways. You have a few days to get in here and start your chemotherapy treatment. And I remember being so angry at God. I just recall having a conversation in my head, I was in an argument with him, how could you do this to me? You know how hard I've worked, you know how much I want this, and you can't stop me. Even though I have this cancer diagnosis, you cannot stop me. You're gonna run me over by a bus? What's next? I remember being so adamant because I really believed that's what was gonna fulfill me, that was gonna make me feel worthy. And I didn't want to listen to God, the God that created me. What did he know? Gosh, it makes me emotional thinking about it. But yeah, I was just so blinded by how evil the industry was. And God was trying to save me. He was trying to bring me out. And there was many things that happened that God was giving me signs, I don't want you in this industry, I don't want you in this industry. And I wouldn't listen. I got kicked out of a girl group, touring with Jason Derulo, and we're about to release a song with them. And no, I got kicked out and I just kept going. I thought, no, fine, I'll just do it on my own. And I did. I went off and I did it on my own. And I felt so resilient and so strong that I can do this. I can prove to everyone that I can do this. And God was saying, no, this is not where I want you to be. And so in that moment when I got diagnosed and also was about to release a song, I said to my mum, and I was very clear, do not tell my manager that I have cancer. I'm not going to tell him. I'm going to buy an incredible wig. I was in my early 20s and I had really long hair all the way down to my bum. I will get a wig made that will literally look exactly like my hair. I'm not going to tell my manager. I'm just going to push through it. I'm going to push through it. I'm not going to lose this. I can't lose this. And next minute I get an email off my manager because my mum had contacted my manager behind my back. And in this moment I was, the fury inside of me. It was bad. How could she betray me too? God betrayed me. And now my mum, I remember picking up my new iPhone and chucking it out the window, smashing it to pieces. Instantly I lost that deal. Instantly my whole future collapsed in front of me and I literally felt like I lost everything. There was a lot of emotions. I was very scared. I was already a hypochondriac. It did not help the situation at all now that I had to deal with these tumors and have to go through something so intense. And at the time I was so concerned about losing my hair, and which I think now I was so oblivious. Once I had started the treatment, my hair, I was take all my hair. It was so hard to go through that treatment. But in the midst of that storm, I remember having this pivotal moment. I was just crying out to God one night. I was just crying out to him Lord, I'm so scared. What's going on? Why am I going through this? Still angry at him, but just opening my heart to him. And I will never forget that moment. Until this day, I still never had a vision like this. It still gives me goosebumps. I have goosebumps now thinking about it. I remember laying on the ground, my whole body felt warm, and I just remember the presence of the Holy Spirit coming over me. It was like a movie that Jesus was showing me of my life. It was like a preview of my life. I still can't fathom just how incredible it was. And he basically just showed me my life from when I was a child with my natural brown hair. His plan for my life was to bring me back to my roots. That was the message he was giving me. Bring me back to the woman that he desired me to be. In that moment, I realized just how real God was. I always believed in Jesus. I knew he was real. My dad was a pastor and I was brought up as a Christian. And it's funny now because I look back at people that were in the same industry as me, still in LA, still trying to make it, and they look so sad. And I'm just so thankful to God. In that moment, you don't know what is going on. Why would God do this to you? But when you look back and all the pieces of the puzzle come together and you're like, God was so in that. And I'm so thankful for God. To this day, my children will not be in that industry. From what I went through and what I saw, there is no way. This is my encouragement to you. If you are going through the darkest, hardest time in your life, don't block Jesus out. That is when he speaks to you. That's when he not leaving you, that He won't forsake you. That's when you grow. The darkest valleys, I will be with you. And through that time, it was evident He was there. I really hope and pray that others can experience that too, because He puts us through these trials to trust Him.